I'm so gratified that the NFL is taking the time and has made the commitment to have the Salute to Service program. I think everyone appreciates the fact that we're only able to have this game that we play because of the men and women who are serving, because of their sacrifices, because of their willingness to put their personal comfort aside and provide us that security so that we can live our lives.
What a great opportunity that's before me right now. Gotta be appreciative of it. Never taking this for granted.
Let's go!
I'm a soldier, leader in your army. Thank you, Jesus. Y'all already know what the job is, baby. You know what we came here to do.
The city of champions.
He's hit and he's set. Let's go! Touchdown, Steelers!
The standard is the standard.
The Thursday night matchup against the Titans was this year's Salute to Service game.
And the first third down, we pick it up, baby. The mojo's rolling.
I'm loving this start right now.
Fourth-year safety Elijah Riley has a unique perspective.
Deontay Johnson turns in the field.
No, he didn't do that, Coach T. No, he did.
He is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point.
There you go, Nas. There you go, Nas. There you go, Nas. Let's go. Great start. Great start. Yes, sir.
Salute to Service, I think, is great because it really gets to represent those who represent our nation. A lot of respect for the troops and all people who have taken the opportunity to serve something much larger than themselves. Obviously, having gone to a military academy, I've been around people who have done a number of tours, who have led a number of people. I have an abundance of respect for them. The things that I learned here, I'll be able to take with me to the active military when that time comes.
Thanks to a rule change in 2019, Riley was able to defer his military commitment until after his NFL career.
I was ecstatic because, my whole life I dreamed of playing at the professional level.
Riley grew up on Long Island, where he played both cornerback and receiver on his high school team. As a senior, he was named team captain, team MVP, and first team All-County.
High school was good. My senior year, we got the chance to go to the Long Island Championship and had an undefeated season, pretty historic season at Newfield High School. It was definitely a season for the record books.
But after high school, Riley had just one Division I football offer, Army.
I had dreams of playing Power 5 football, and the Army offer came in, and I was very grateful. That wasn't a place that I had ever expected to go. My initial reaction was no shot. But then I went on an official visit there. The awe factor was incredible. Between football, what the academy has to offer academically and for character development, I was all in after that experience.
Riley played in 44 games at Army. His senior year, he was named team captain. He would record 79 tackles, 4 sacks, and 3 interceptions en route to first team All-Independent honors.
That was a really humbling experience, being named captain by my teammates. I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about my peers. It was something that, still sticks with me in how I operate in the world.
Riley had NFL dreams, but with no combine invite, those dreams seemed distant.
Tough process, no combine invite. I didn't get to have my pro day because COVID had shut everything down. Operating off the strength of my game tape and the Shrine game, I'm preparing the whole summer to be a part of somebody's program. Got a call from the Eagles after the draft, and I was ecstatic, that somebody took a shot on me despite not having opportunities to show some of my measurables.
The undrafted Riley spent a season and a half in Philadelphia. In November of 2021, the Jets signed him off the Eagles practice squad, and in New York, he saw his first significant playing time.
It was cool being back playing for a team that I had grown up watching, putting on the green and white, and the starter on the defense and getting the opportunity to live my childhood dream. Essentially, I was creating myself in Madden to be a New York Jet at one point. So things did not work out, and now I'm here in Pittsburgh making the most of it.
Riley was claimed off waivers by Pittsburgh in the summer of 2022. Earlier this year, he recorded his first sack as a Steeler.
Trying to escape, he does. And what a tackle at the 50-yard line by the West Point product, Elijah Riley.
That was Elijah Riley zooming across the field. Way to go, young man.
Riley continues to make an impact on special teams.
Special teams has always been like special forces to me. It's a different area of the game that requires a different skill set that is kind of unconventional to what you see on defense or offense. You know, it's a combination of both. You got to be able to block, you've got to be able to tackle, run a 40-yard dash almost every play to get to the ball or protect your returner.
Get out of here, Rail!
I'm fully leaning into that role and enjoying it as well.
Let's go! Hey!
When Riley's NFL career is over, he will have an 8-year commitment to the Army. He will serve 5 years active duty and 3 years reserve. So for now, he's living in the moment.
I'm taking it day by day, you know, especially where I am right now in the middle of the season. You know, things just kind of go one step at a time. I don't want to rush anything. I definitely want to enjoy this experience. This is something I only get to play for so long. The NFL only lasts so long. When my time comes, when it's time for me to lead, when it's time for me to get back to service, then I'm all in.
Another man in the building who has a unique perspective on both salute to service and Elijah Riley is quarterbacks coach Mike Sullivan. He, too, attended West Point.
It's so hard to make it in this league, and it's so competitive. I personally am always cheering for him. I know that when his time is done and he's called upon to serve, he's ready.
Coach Sullivan grew up in Santa Maria, California. His father was in the Air Force.
Some of my earliest memories was getting G.I. Joes, and I was putting them in formations and playing football with them. Started playing in middle school, tackle football, did the flag football up until then, and then played in high school and wanted to play Division I football in college. Was not heavily recruited, had a chance to kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and had the opportunity to play Division I and also serve my country and pursue the military, and that was have a chance to go to Army West Point.
Sullivan started as a wide receiver at Army, eventually transitioning to defensive back. The 2-year Letterman graduated in 1989.
Upon graduation, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant, and I chose the infantry branch. I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, graduated from Airborne, Ranger, and Air Assault schools, and then was an infantry rifle platoon leader. I think it really was that experience, getting a group to come together and overcome a lot of very difficult and challenging circumstances and multiple deployments and hard training. I mean, it's the infantry. You're out in the mud. To see those guys come together to achieve a goal really was the thing that I think brought me into coaching. I got out of the Army and transitioned, had a job working in the private sector, making great money, but I was miserable. And I remember I was back in California, driving on I-5, and I thought, man, when did I really have the most enjoyment and fulfillment in my life? And it was being around the game of football when I got a chance to play and being around some great teammates and coaches and that wonderful experience at Army. So I just started firing out letters to various coaches. I contacted all the coaches that were at Army still, and my first job was as a graduate assistant in Humboldt State University in Northern California. Very humble beginnings, but it was a great start. From there, I was able to have a chance to get back to Army and spent 10 total years in college before finally having a chance to come to the NFL.
Sullivan has now spent over 2 decades coaching in the league, including a stint as quarterbacks coach with the Giants, where he won 2 Super Bowls with Eli Manning. He joined the Steelers in 2021, coaching Ben Roethlisberger in his final season.
He was in a point in his career where, there were some physical limitations that he was working through, as toughest competitors I've ever been around, and there are aspects to the game that he had already experienced, and so it was more comparing notes, if you will, his experiences and my experiences, because when I had the chance to coach him, I'd had 17 years in the league at that point, whereas you get somebody that's brand new, a young man like Kenny Pickett, who's just been a dream to coach because of his willingness to work, his passion for the game, his work ethic, his attention to detail, and it's like molded clay. You know, he wants to know what's the best way to prepare throughout the course of the week. You know, what's the structure for studying film, for breaking down an opponent? What are some of the ways and means in which you can work through a progression or protection adjustments, you name it. And so you really start from scratch, so to speak, because it is a transition. It's a big difference from the college game to the pro game, but it's been a joy being around someone that is just so energetic and willing to be coached.
Now, Pickett and his squad prepare to host another historic franchise, the Packers. Green Bay has not won in Pittsburgh since 1970, and the Steelers look to improve their record as they enter the second half of the NFL season.